Hey y'all, once again, this is Porty 1119 with Headframe Hunters. We're here at a unnamed mine in southwestern New Mexico. The reason it's unnamed will become pretty obvious. So we're just here inside the portal, and we're looking at approximately a 40-foot wide quartz vein. So we're friends with the owner of this mine, and we came in here to do some chip sampling with an eye towards potentially putting it back into production. So this is the area that we particularly like. We're using the green spray paint. This sample is designated BA. What we're going after is this sulfide. The sulfide is particularly pyrrhotite. Sulfide-laced quartz with visible montramite up that way. So we took a chip sample in this mine a while ago, and it graded about 0.27 ounces a ton gold. We're hoping to get similar here. And in particular, we're hoping to see similar across a broad enough width to potentially justify mining. This is sort of the first in what I hope is going to be a series on this mine. And if our chip sample results are favorable, we'd like to come in with jackleg drills and potentially an air track, do about some 12-foot long sample holes into the vein, and see how all it runs. At that point, we'll have already brought the 911 down here as a utility vehicle and do some cleanup, because there's a decent bit of material in here that we've had to scale, and we brought that down. There's that slump in the back, which is sort of a decomposing clay type material that is present near the vein in this district, and well, all of that has to come out if we're going to have safe access down to the decline bottom. So about 10-15 feet down the drift from our number 1 sample, we took our number 2 right here. There's been some previous drilling in this area. That green hole right there is we believe to be a previous core hole, and that cluster of 3 up there were short-range jackleg holes. So coming into here, you can see the less lustrous stuff right there where I'm concentrating my cap lamp is andesite country rock. It starts to be a little bit brecciated in here with sulfide, then moving into iron staining and a little bit more barren quartz. So we took a decent size sample out of this spot. Most of our samples are probably on the vicinity of about 15 pounds, and then we're gonna head down the decline, do some more work down there. I'm gonna try to demonstrate scaling. So you see here, it's kind of a high-pitched noise, sounds solid, and then there it's hollow. So this is all sort of a decomposing andesite, which is common in this district. That's why the operator of this mine put in all of the bacon strips here when they were operating it back in the 90s. Told they mined about 500 tons of, I think it was averaging half ounce out of here. See, this whole outcrop is starting to flex, but it's tied in at the bottom. So I don't know how much of it is actually going to go. Little stuff will, but that's low energy. I'm more worried about the stuff up there, where if it comes down, it can land on you while you're tramming through here.
just don't like being in of it. Now it's starting to come down. There we go. Ready for timber. There she goes. That's how it's done. So you can come back in here, much better. That's how you deal with the slab. So now we're at the bottom of the decline. We're taking our number 3 sample, trying the same filming technique I did for that scaling. So what we're going after is, that was my balance. Let's leave this stretch of the vein right here. We've previously taken a sample in this vicinity that ran pretty good. I believe it ran about a 1/4 ounce, and which, you know, that's $800 a ton. And I figure I should be able to get 500 tons out of here pretty easily. That's a pretty decent chunk of change. Trying to position it so as much of my sample as possible just falls right into the bucket. Now, please note, I am wearing safety glasses. There's a lot of chips and sparks flying from this. And modern medical science has not figured out prosthetic eyes yet, so protect the ones you got. So, remember with sampling is statistics. You want to have something that is statistically a decent representation of what you got. Now, the best way to do that is with a muck pile sample, but then you got to get down here, you got to drill it, you got to load it, you got to shoot it, and then you can take your muck pile sample. Ooh, we got some visible pyrite in here. Nice. So my kind of sample plan here is to start in this area and sort of come down the vein in sort of a channel. Go. Some decent looking stuff. Hope those sparks are showing up on video. Now, it's a real good sign is that there's a faint smell of sulfur down here from the sulfide that I'm chiseling through. Now, there's a pretty strong association between pyrrhotite, which is iron sulfide polymorph, and gold and silver ore values in this district. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up our, hopefully, episode 1 of many here.
This is our number 3 chip sample. I'm going to sped up the chip sampling because it's a slow process, especially in highly competent quartz. So that's where the majority of it came from. Brought some from up there, and then a decent bit from down there. So I'm going to show you one of our samples. You can see this has got some of the blue quartz, some visible pyrite. And then this is another portion. Yeah, the pyrite is, let's see if we can get it to glint. Not quite, but there's yeah, there we go. There's a fair bit of pyrite visible in this sample. Smells very sulfurous when it's being chipped. And then we've got probably 8 to 10 foot width here, which is potentially plenty to justify mining, but we want to see if it goes up and down and up that way. That's a backfilled drift that runs about 60 feet parallel to the vein. Potentially like to put some holes in perpendicular to the vein from that drift. Now, I know there was about 500 tons of half-ounce material mined here in the 90s, and this drift works out almost exactly to 500 tons. So I don't know if this was potentially material that ran and they just never came back for the slab, or what happened, but we're very interested in it and would like to see if this justifies mining. So hopefully we'll be back. This has been Port 1119 with Headframe Hunters. Thank you all very much for watching, and adios.